Hi guys, welcome back to my little corner of Disney. As you may know, my husband and I are annual pass holders at Disneyland Paris, so we go to the parks quite a lot. We probably average about once a month throughout the year. So we have been fortunate enough to stay at pretty much every hotel that is on site at Disneyland Paris. So I thought I would share with you today 5 tips that will hopefully make your stay on site a little bit easier. Number 1. When you check in, you get given a magic pass. This is your room key card. It's for any meal plans that you've got. It also gets you into the park and any shows that you've booked. So literally we'll just have little codes along the top for meal plans. That's for Buffalo Bills, park entry. Covers everything. But what you may not know is that this also gives you 4 free hot drinks per day. So each hotel has vending machines in it. So in Santa Fe and Cheyenne, they are located in each individual block of hotel rooms, so there's separate buildings for each one of them, and they're usually by the lifts and the stairs for the higher floors. In Sequoia Lodge, you need to go straight through reception, and instead of going down the stairs towards the doors to go into the Disney Village and the park, if you take a left, there's like a little cubby hole there where the drinks machine is. In Newport Bay, if you're stood with your back to the shop and you're facing reception, if you take a left, it's along that corridor there. And in the Disneyland Hotel, I believe it's up the stairs and you take a left from the main reception staircase and it's just along there. If you generally follow the signs for ice machines, you usually end up finding the drinks machines. And then all you do is slap your card against the machine and make a selection. It's got everything from hot chocolate, coffee, tea, mochas. Personally, I wouldn't drink the tea because it's not a great colour when it comes out, but the hot chocolates are really good. The counter resets at midnight and they don't roll over, so if you don't use your 4 drinks, you lose them. And everyone who has a magic pass gets the drinks. Because the drinks are just linked to your magic card, you're not restricted in which hotel you can actually use them in. So if it was a particularly cold day and you wanted to just warm up, you could use your free drinks in the Disneyland Hotel. They come out in just a little plastic cup, but if you take thermos or a reusable cup or something, you could just fill them up with your free drinks. Tip number 2 is also related to your magic pass. You can link your credit or debit card to your magic pass. You do that in the reception of your hotel, and what it means is that when you're in the park, if you're doing any shopping, instead of giving your credit or debit card to pay, you give your magic pass and it is charged back to your room. Now there is, I think it's €350 limit before they basically cut you off and say that you need to clear the balance to carry on using it. But what it means is that when you check out, you would just pay for anything you've got left to pay at the hotel, so like the city taxes, anything that you'd charge to your room in the hotel, and anything that you've bought on your magic pass. So if your bank charges you fees for doing an international transaction, you'd be limiting yourself to only getting 1 fee because you'd only be actually processing 1 transaction. The downside to it is you can't really track your spending, so it doesn't really feel like actual money when you're just putting it onto a magic pass. But if you're only in the park for a couple of days, it might be a good idea instead of incurring multiple fees. Tip number 3, take painkillers with you. French law means that you can't just buy ibuprofen or paracetamol in shops the same way that you can in the UK. You need to go to an actual pharmacy to buy them. The closest pharmacy to Disneyland Paris is in Val d'Europe, which is about a 5-minute train journey away, which is not the end of the world, but equally if you're staying on site, you're staying on site because you want the benefits of being close to the park. You don't want to then have to go and traipse off to Val d'Europe just to get some painkillers. So take some with you, either buy them at the airport or pack them in your luggage, and save yourself the hassle of having to take time out of your holiday to go over and buy painkillers. Number 4, take an extension lead with you. My main bugbear of staying on site at Disney is that they just do not put enough plugs in the rooms. I don't know what it is, but for some reason they just decided not to put plugs in. When we stayed at Sequoia Lodge, the only plug that we had in the entire room had a lamp already plugged into it, so we had to unplug the lamp just to get one socket, which, when you think how many things people have for charging, is pretty ridiculous. So we always take a 4-way extension cable that we just picked up. I think it was £1.50 from IKEA, the one that we got. And then we just need the one adapter, plug that into the wall, and then we've essentially got 4 plugs that we can use to charge. If you do forget the adapter for converting the plug to €1, you can buy them in each of the gift shops within the hotels. They, I think the last time we looked, were about €14. We've had to buy one once because we forgot to bring the adapter, and the one that we bought from the shop didn't actually work, so it ended up we went through about 6 or 7 of them with a guy in the shop trying them all. They just would not work, and he ended up refunding us the money for them. We ended up hiring one from the reception in the hotel. It's a €10 deposit, and then when you give the plug back you get the deposit back, so there is no reason to ever actually need to buy one, just get one on loan from the hotel. And number 5, if you're able to, you should always walk to the parks. Some of the hotels are about 20 to 25 minutes walk away. Cheyenne and Santa Fe are about 25 minutes. Sequoia Lodge and Newport Bay are about 15 minutes, and the Art of Marvel, as it will be, or New York as it was, is about a 10-minute walk away. Disneyland Hotel is obviously straight at the door, and David Crockett you would have to drive from. Now, they offer shuttle services from Cheyenne, Santa Fe, Sequoia Lodge, Newport Bay, and eventually the Art of Marvel. But the shuttle buses all end up going to the same security as the main train station, the local buses, and the car park. So there is a lot of people all going through that one security. On a busy day, that can equate to about 45 minutes waiting just to have your bag scanned and walk through a metal detector, which is pretty ridiculous. So if you walk from your hotel, you go through a different security queue because you get a security check to get you into the Disney Village, and that security, generally, I think the most we have ever waited there is 5 minutes. So if you physically can walk to the parks, you should, because it will actually save you time in the long run. Disney are making improvements to this, and some of the shuttle buses are going to eventually, I'm not sure if they already do, go to a south entrance to sort of try and split out some of the queue. But if they go to the main entrance, which I think Sequoia Lodge and Newport Bay still will, you're still going to be fighting with people who've come off the trains and through the car parking. So it's just worth it, just to save yourself some extra time to just walk from the hotels. And that's it. They are my 5 tips for staying on site at Disneyland Paris. Thanks for watching. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you want to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!